Good evening and welcome to Hoops Friday Night, Week 10. I'm Dave Ciseski, alongside, as always, Tony Quach. Justin Dirks will join us shortly. Tony, welcome back from California, just in time for another action-packed week of boys basketball and some snow.
Thanks, Dave. It's good to be back, and it's good to be back indoors where we are safe and warm from the cold. Anyways, we have a total of 14 games on our slate tonight, and we'll start things off with some action from the track as Lima Senior hits the road to take on the Toledo St. John's Titans.
We head to Toledo St. John's High School. Toledo winners of 5 and 6 coming in, but Lima with 6 straight wins on Toledo's home court. Pick things up in the second quarter. Spartans down. Jaquel Cotton to Omari and Glenn for 3. Spartans down 12-11 now. Third quarter, Spartans Jagger Hutchins going to miss the shot, but Amari Addy there for the putback. Lima Senior down 6 after the freshman's hoop. Titans lead by 10 in the fourth, but here comes the Spartans down 3 with Amari and Glenn hitting the 3. Game tied at 34 now. But final seconds, a lot would happen here. Spartans took the lead on the free throw line. Titans C.J. Hornbeek over to Mitchell McCallick for the game winner. Lima Senior falls 44-43 on the road.
The Philly Trojans snap a 3-game skid tonight. They do battle against the 2-14 Oregon Clay Eagles. The Trojans are eyeing their 7th conference win on the season. First quarter, the ball comes loose. Jake Bishop recovers it. He bounces it over to Sam Ernst, and he stops and drops it through. Finley up by 2 early on. Now it's Ryan Montgomery, who decides to take it himself inside. He glides to the basket and gets it to fall. The home team now leads by 4. Finley continues their dominance inside the paint. Montgomery drives to the rack, and he kisses it off the glass. Trojans now have an 8-point lead. Now it's Bishop who controls the ball. He goes hard to the hoop, count it, and 1. Finley goes on to win 70-18. Switching gears to the WBL, the Ottawa Glandorf Titans head to Auglaize County to battle the Salina Bulldogs. The Titans have won 7 of their last 8 games coming into tonight. In the first quarter, Caden Erfurt finds Colin White, who finds Theo Mag, and Mag finishes the play with a 2-handed slam. Titans go up by 4. Now it's White who sends the ball over to Erfurt, and he finishes with the layup down court. OG goes up by 8. With less than 3 minutes in the first, Caleb Gabe works his way to the basket and uses the glass for 2. However, the Bulldogs trail by 7. In the final seconds of the first, Grant Schrader finds Erfurt, and he dials up from long range. OG leads 18-3. And they're not done yet. In the second, Hunter Steckschulte hits Colin White with the pass, and the junior hits the 3 ball. Titans win 61-24.
Going east on State Route 33, make a stop at Wapakoneta where the Redskins battle the Elida Bulldogs. Wapak rides a 3-game winning streak, while the Bulldogs trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Fourth quarter, Jackson Quarter finds Cash Shadow, who buries the triple try. Redskins up by 3. Moving ahead now, just under 3.5 minutes left in regulation when Nate Metzger passes to Caleb Moyer, who adds another triple. Lead pushed to 33-27. Redskins now after that tray. Elida on the attack, though. Amari Wash gets the board, and then the hoop with contact. Count that, baby, in the foul. 33-29 now. Just under 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Zach Niekamp passes to a cutting Metzger, who hits the acrobatic layup. And unfortunately for the Bulldogs, Redskins weren't done. A minute left in regulation. Quarter gets behind the defense, gets the hoop and the foul. Redskins win 42-33. The Shawnee Indians hosting the Van Wert Cougars since 2004. The series has been pretty even at 11-8 in favor of the Cougars. However, the Indians have won the last 5 matchups and happen to come into the night at 5-1 at home. Pretty dangerous recipe. Late first half, Austin Miller gets the rebound and runs down the court like a one-man fast break. Nobody stops him. He takes it into the cup there. 6-point lead for the Indians. Next time down, off the missed shot, however, Cougars get to pass the defense, and Garrett Gunter scoops it up to Aiden Pratt, who takes it in for the lay-in. Lead cut to 4. Then off the miss, the ball comes down to Van Wert, and they get the lay-in and cut the lead to 2. Second half, Beckett Berkey drives, pops the floater, all tied up at 31. But Pratt and the Cougars wouldn't be denied as he makes the move baseline, gets the bucket. Van Wert wins 60-55 in a close one. The St. Mary's Rough Riders defeated the Kenton Wildcats 60-44 on the road. Bath and Defiance game was canceled earlier today due to weather conditions. This game will be made up on Saturday, February 11th with a 1 o'clock JV start time. Now we need to take our first break on Hoops Friday night. When we come back, catch highlights from Kalida and Otterville's game as they battle for first place in the PCL. Stay tuned for more.
Welcome back. Both the Colorado Wildcats and Ottoville Big Green came into tonight's game undefeated in league play. The Big Green and the Wildcats put their 5-game winning streak on the line as they battle for the top spot in the PCL. And now Hoops Friday Night Spotlight Game.
This Hoops Friday Night Spotlight Game is presented by Midwest Electric Incorporated.
The Big Green have won the last 2 meetings against the Wildcats. The most recent encounter between the two teams saw Ottoville coming out on top 49-47 last year. In the opening quarter, Kellen Schlagbaum drives to the rack and drops the rock through for his team's first points. Big Green lead by 2. Then Schlagbaum finds Carter Horseman from beyond the arc, and the senior lets it fly. That 3-ball gives Ottoville a 5-point lead. Colada down by 7. Drew Firsch connects with Jaden Smith, and the quick catch and shoot results in the 2. Wildcats now down by 5. Moments later, Firsch hits Ethan Warnicki, and he banks it off the glass. Colada down by 3. In the final seconds of the first quarter, Jace Langhouse finds Horseman, and he gets the bucket as time expires. Ottoville now leads by 5. But Colada would have the last laugh as Warnicki gets the bounce pass, and he gets the reverse layup. Wildcats win a thriller in overtime, 47-45. Just one more score in the PCL tonight as Miller City defeats Fort Jennings at home, 57-52.
The 14-1 Spencerville Bearcats taking on the Bluffton Pirates at the walk-in closet. 2 of the top teams in the NWC in terms of offense and defense efficiency. Bearcats at number 1 in scoring, 65 points per game. First half, Josh Henline's going to get the rock, and he knows what to do with it. He dials it up from long distance for the triple. Bearcats on top early. Next time down, Bearcats hustle, turning into points as Dylan Cook hits the hardwood. Carter Sudoff comes up with it over to Dylan Smith, who drives and goes off the glass for the bucket. Bearcats up by 5, but the Pirates come right back down as Merrick Donaldson's going to drive and stop and pop and hits the jumper, lead cut to 3. And then Carson Sulfur takes the rock, goes baseline to the cup, gets it to fall, all tied up. But the Bearcats showing why they're 14-1 as Smith gets behind the defense for the easy lay, and Spencerville wins 58-47. Now over to Justin Dirks.
Thank you, Dave. More NWC action coming your way. It was the second meeting in the last 17 years between the Jefferson Wildcats and the Leipzig Vikings, with the Wildcats winning 69-52 exactly a year ago. Now we do it all over again in Leipzig. The 5-9 Vikings back at home looking for a win after losing the last 4 games, 3 of those on the road. 6-9 Wildcats need a win as well after losing the last 3. Wildcats and Leipzig sitting in the middle of the NWC, but only back 2 and 3 games from first place, respectively. Vikings under the rack, and after 3 offensive board, Ty Lammers lays it up. First basket of the game goes to the home team. On the other end, Carter Agner gets it inside. He muscles his way to the rack for the score. That ties things up at 2 apiece. Now, Lammers doing it again for the Vikings, this time from long range. He hits that 3. Leipzig down 5 after that basket. Then off the inbound, Trent Tiemann is there underneath for the grab and score. That basket puts Jefferson up 10 now. Then off the miss, Isaac Gallmeyer pushes it up the floor. He finds Agner wide open down court, slams it in for the finish as Jefferson rolls 75-44. One other game from the NWC was supposed to take place tonight. However, the Allen East game against Lincoln View was postponed. The makeup date has not been announced just yet. But Crestview Knights were in action, and they got their 14th win and moved to 5-1 in the conference as they take down the Ada Bulldogs 62-40. And we are set for our second and final break on Hoops Friday Night. When we come back, we have highlights from the MAC and a busy night from the PVC. Stick around for more. Welcome back, everybody. The Blanchard Valley Conference has some great teams this season, including Corey Rawson sitting in second place with a 5-1 record in conference play. Tonight, they headed down the road to face a struggling Rockets team that has 2 wins in the BVC and overall this season. To the launch pad we go. Pandora Gilboa have a 10-3 record since 2005 against the Hornets, winning 6 of the last 7 matchups. Starting in the third, nice steal from Aiden Morris. He gets it up court. Nice passing, both long and short, as Aiden Harris finishes at the rack with the foul. Rockets go up by 32 points at this point. On the other end, Eric Davis kicks it outside to Michael Bixler. He steps up and puts up the mid-range jumper. Hornets trailing by 32 now. Again, Bixler, he goes ISO this time and creates the space and hits the fadeaway jumper. Hornets down 29. Then Owen Huffman gets it on the perimeter. He drives the lane and hits the layup against contact. Rockets up 31, and they kept it rolling. As Zach Schwander drains the shot from downtown, PG goes on to win this one 68-26. And at Herb Ultra Gymnasium, 2-14 Arcadia looking for their second win in the BVC, taking on 4-10 Macomb, with the Panthers looking for their third win in the conference. It's Macomb who gets us started as Mason Holman passes it inside to a flying Camden Glacier. He leaps up and gets that basket to fall, giving the Panthers a 2-0 lead. Arcadia responds right back. Isaac Stoner is found near the corner. He lets it fly. Arcadia takes the lead by 1. Later, it's tied up at 3 apiece, but it's the Pirates striking once again from beyond the arc. This time, it's Grant Bowes. He gives Arcadia the lead once again. But Macomb goes back to work. This time, it's Glacier once again with the ball. He backs into his defender here, gets the open lane, and gets his basket to bounce in and the foul. Macomb goes on to win this one, 55-39. Now, for the rest of the scores in the Blanchard Valley Conference, goes as followed. Van Buren Black Knights, they defend home court against Van Loo, 61-51. Arlington Red Devils defeat Riverdale Falcons on the road, 74-34 is your final. And finally, the Liberty Benton Eagles dominated against the North Baltimore Tigers. They stay undefeated, 73-25. Now, for Green Meadows Conference play at the Palace, 4-2 Edgerton at 11-4 Wayne Trace. The Raiders have won 5 of the last 6, but the Bulldogs have won the last 3 after starting off the season 1-10. We pick up the action in the first, and Wayne Trace started out on fire as Tanner Lockoff with the bounce pass inside to Kyle Stoller in the paint. He muscles his way for a layup. Raiders get the first basket of the game. On the defensive end, Tyler Davis gets the steal. He's going to take this baby coast to coast. That puts the Raiders up 4 now. Then Brooks Lockoff fakes right and goes left. He pulls up for the mid-range jumper from the charity stripe. That's 6-0 Raiders. Then Hudson Meyer takes control in the paint. He makes this basket happen. The home team up by 8. Now Stoller gets out of trouble. He finds Brooks Lockoff, who hits the jumper again. That's a 10-0 run. Timeout Edgerton as the Raiders go on to win 56-41. Now in more GMC action, Antwerp defeats Ayersville on the road, winning 63-59, the score in that one. And Paulding taking down Fairview, 51-37, the final in that. And finally, Tenora wins on the road as the Rams defeat the Hicksville Aces, 50-46.
Coldwater Cavaliers entered tonight atop the MAC at 9-5, including a perfect 5-0 in conference play. Their opponent, Versailles Tigers, 69, however, second in the MAC, averaging 54 points a game. Second quarter, Luke Schwederman with the shot fake. Goes up off the glass, Cavs down 6. Tigers on the attack, though. Lucas Stammen fakes the shot and delivers a dime to A.J. Greisdorn, who puts it off the window for 2. But the Cavs making it rain from deep as Schwederman gets all net. Their deficit cut to 5. Tigers playing bully ball, though, as Connor Stonebreaker uses the muscle in the paint, hits the bucket. More on him coming up. Stonebreaker, again, this time in the second half, gets the hoop and the milestone. That's his 1,000th career point, and even better as it comes in a 55-41 victory.
The Marion local Flyers put their undefeated record on the line against Parkway Panthers. The Flyers have won 10 of the last 12 meetings against the Panthers since 2010. In the first quarter, Marion local gets on the board in a big way. Austin Niekamp gets the alley-oop pass and slams it down. Flyers lead by 2. Then Marion local shows off their range as Jaden Mesher hangs 3 on the board. The home team goes up by 5. Parkway responds back as Caden Barry puts the spin move on his defender to get the bucket. Panthers trail 7-2. Later on in the quarter, Trent Rawlings has 2 defenders in his face. He drops it through the 10. Parkway still down by 5 points. The Panthers continue to close the gap, however, as the inbounds pass finds a wide-open Barry, and he quickly gets the layup. Parkway pulls within 2. In the second quarter, Flyers add on as Tate Hetz finds Luke Pullman, and the senior drains a 3-ball. Marion local goes on to win 61-24 to stay undefeated in MAC play. Over in Delphus, the St. John's Blue Jays tangle with the Minster Wildcats. The Jays have won 3 of their last 4 meetings against Minster. The Wildcats looking to win back-to-back games for the first time this season, while St. John's trying to get back into the win column. We pick things up in the second half. St. John's up 30-26. Jack Gerger hits Landon Grothaus, and the senior hits the 3-ball right in front of us. Blue Jays go up by 7. On the other end, Minster answers right back. Cole Richards finds the bottom of the net with this triple try. Wildcats trim the Jays' lead to 4. St. John's trying to pad their lead. Cameron Elwer pulls up and hits the short J. The home team now has an 8-point edge. Minster keeping things close as Noah Schwederman finds Cole Alberts in the paint and he lays it in. Wildcats trail by 6, but the Jays will pull out in the end as Grothaus tacks on another 3-ball. Nothing but net for the senior. St. John's wins 62-59. Just 2 more scores from the MAC as the New Bremen Cardinals defeated the New Knoxville Rangers 69-52. The St. Henry Redskins win 58-42 on the road against the Fort Recovery Indians.
To the Northwest Central Conference, Perry, big win against Waynesville Goshen, 65-58. A lot of close ball games tonight. Hardin Northern defends home court against Temple Christian right down the road here. Temple Christian, 61-51. They lose this one, though. And finally, the Ridgemont Golden Gophers fall to Elgin Comets, 65-46.
In the Shelby County League, the Russia Raiders win 70-37 against the Anna Rockets, while the Botkins Trojans defeated the Houston Wildcats 58-23. Lastly, the Fort Loramie Redskins defeated Fairlawn 61-28 on the road. Bell Fountain and Tecumseh, we don't have a final score for that game yet. However, Northwestern and Indian Lake, we do have a final for that one. 82-56 was the final.
Well, that's how we wrap up our 10th week of Hoops Friday night. Now, Tony, you didn't get that dunk yet. I know you're still been waiting for it, but we did have another 1,000-point score. We've had to have a lot of that this season. I think we've had about 5 or 6 players hit the 1,000-point mark, so that's been a lot of fun. And listen, we appreciate everybody out there, everybody that helps put on the show as well.
Yep, we have plenty of action on Saturday. We have WBL Championship Swimming in Napoleon, wrestling at Lima Central Catholic High School, along with plenty of boys and girls basketball action. Once again, thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. Have a good night, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.